Greetings from Australia and Magnorail Oz. The following video really is another one of my dreams come true. Now, I first got into Magnorail when I saw the little man pedaling around at one of the train exhibitions in England on YouTube. I wasn't there in person, and I thought that was fantastic. And at that stage, it was only a Dutch invention, in Netherlands, and it wasn't widely promoted. And I was able to sort of work backwards through translation apps and what have you, and I was finally able to get on to the people in the Netherlands and bought my first set. From there on though, I saw the potential that Magnorail could bring to a layout. Apart from the cyclists, I could see that it could be adapted to a lot of applications, and the one that struck me and was the motivating force initially was to get boats moving on simulated water, and that could be lakes, bodies of water, rivers, canals, you name it. And so my first couple of Magnorail layouts were basically with the lakes and the boats as the focus, and to the culmination after about 3 different layouts to Crater Lakes, which has speedboats towing skiers around, jet skis and pedal boats, yachts, sailboarders, you name it, and of course the vehicles up above on an elevated roadway, and the cyclists coming out to a little island. And so that was part of my dreams. But discussions at train shows with some enthusiasts who saw also the magic that Magnorail can bring always wondered about how we could get planes flying around. And I'd done a few concepts on paper and in my dreams. I don't know about you, but a lot of my work is done at night, thinking about these things in bed. And I always had the concept worked out of an inverted Magnorail. So the Magnorail was above and planes and what have you came down. Wasn't until recently that Morty from New York actually rang me and was interested. He'd seen something, it must have been one of the videos, and he wanted me to build 4 dioramas, and they depicted various things, a hospital, a prison, a desert scene, and a boat and plane scene. Now, after fending him off because he was quite insistent, I advised him that I was a retailer, not a model maker. So I went back through my list of customers, and I found several in New York which I wrote to, and to see if they'd be interested in building Morty's dioramas, which were to be about 30 centimetres square, or just over 12 inches, 12 to 15 inches square. So they were very portable and easily moved around. They were going to be used for instructions at schools and that, with them just as what's called an aid memoir, just something to look at while the person was discussing what was behind the actual diorama's actions. Anyhow, the boat and plane one was interesting. I was able to find Joe, who I think it's from Seabourn, which is out of New York, who was actually one of my earlier customers, and he built quite a few Magnorail systems into his layouts, which after this video there is one just purely on Morty's dioramas, and you'll see some of Joe's work in that. But anyhow, back to the flying stuff. So in discussions with Joe, I sort of put forward my concept of how it would all work with, as I said, the inverted Magnorail system, all secured on poles above a layout, and you would use sort of like your blue chain links, or could be whatever is easier, but having two magnets attached and then coming down with fishing line or a clear, whatever you want to use, onto the planes, and they would then go around via the Magnorail. Joe did a great job, considering his brief was very, very sketchy, to say the least. The dioramas that Morty wanted aren't scale dioramas. They're not, your classic scale model, 1/87th or 1/50th scale dioramas. They were there to get a concept across. So very much out of scale type things, as you'll see with the boats and that in this movie. But when you look at the concept, and that's what I want you to consider, what can you do? Hang gliders, ordinary gliders, kites, hot air balloons. Now that'd be something very easily controlled going around, or biplanes, jets, you name it, whatever scale that you want to work on and whatever size your layout. And a lot of layouts do have poles and fascias above their layouts where they put signage and lighting. So it's not inconceivable to be able to extend that and actually have a Magnorail circuit above. Anyhow, Joe completed it. Regrettably, he only took one video on his phone before he handed it all over to Morty, and also regrettably, Morty got struck by COVID and was out of action. He has now recovered, but I hadn't want to get him upset, or not upset, but to get him going, because it's taking a while for him to recover. So I haven't asked him to take further photos, but I will at a better time. So Joe basically used a perspex, a thin perspex, and secured it about an inch and a half all round the track. So it was well and truly secured upside down, and as I said, used the chain links to go around, and it all worked, which is logically there's no reason why it shouldn't work. The only problem would be that the model would be too heavy and pull the magnets out, but the system worked. So I'll leave it to you to view this video, remembering that it's the concept that we're looking at, not the actual modelling side of it. The person that commissioned it was very happy with the result, but I'm sure some fine modellers out there will be able to bring in some excellent Magnorail moving the planes around. Magnorail flying. It's one of those things that I think it'll just cap my day off if I can find someone putting together a video showing that. So anyhow, on with the video. Any comments would be appreciated. If you are watching this and don't have a Magnorail system on your layout, we sell all over the world. Even with COVID, the longest it's taking is 2 to 3 weeks to deliver, and I haven't had any problems. Nothing's been lost. Just watch the exchange rates. If you're out of Australia, they can work in your favour if our dollar goes up, and of course if it goes down, it works against me for getting in, for importing stuff. But please have an open mind on this. If you have any questions, you can email me as per from our website. You'll find our email there. Look at our blog, our frequently asked questions if you're new to Magnorail, and I'm sure you'll find that the magic of flight via Magnorail will be well worth the effort. Catch you around. Thank you for watching. Bye.